Hello, internet family. I'm just doing my legs up the wall. I'm waiting for dinner to be ready. After I had a little tantrum with my sister, she's decided to create more vegetarian meals. After I was like, you do realize you're contributing to a hell on earth and a Holocaust, right? Why? So she's making sloppy joes tonight with meat alternative, and I'm stoked. But that means that as soon as my 15 minutes up, I got to go. Hi, Kiana. Hi, Tome. What's up? Hey, Mark. Hey, Mary Veronica. So, how are you guys doing? This has been quite a time. I was just thinking on my run this morning about how much has happened. Just a month or two ago, COVID was the craziest thing in the quarantine. And then all of the civil rights stuff is up. And now when I look around, I'm seeing it's the same wound in human consciousness, and it can come through racism, it can come through misogyny and chauvinistic kind of sexist behaviors. It can come through the way the animals are mistreated. It can come through how people are mistreating each other in relationships. It's just there. And so we each have our own little hammer to work on it with, depending on what's real for us. Yeah, hey Madison, nice to see you. Mary Veronica, terrible third party involved in my relationship. Boundaries. It is perfectly fine for you to say, hey, this ain't cool. It is also perfectly fine for you to say, maybe this was cool with me and now it's not. It's something that I think it's important to remember, that no matter what, any person could wake up on any day and decide, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to be with you anymore. I want to go off on my own. It is our right as humans. So if someone changes the shape of what you're in such that you don't want to be in it anymore, it is completely your right to step away and to say, I'm done, with whatever level you need to be done on. And that goes for romance, that goes for friendship, that goes for business, and any other kind of alignment that you have. It is completely fine to have new information that makes you change your decision. And only you can know what's right for you, and only you can know if you're acting with integrity. So, let's see, what are you guys saying? Hey, Jamie. Hey, Keisha Black Fox. Hey, Corlama. Leonis. Shiny Disco Ball. What's up? What's up? Chula. Hi, darling. Okay, so I'll tell you guys my plans. So it is July right now. And by the way, if you guys didn't get a chance to do the July 4th United We Stand for Peace meditation, it's still up on YouTube. You can go to the link in my bio to get it because it's on my webpage as well. It's about 25 minutes long, great for before sleep. And it's the first time that I reveal my singing voice in my work. It's something I've been very, very shy about, although I know I'm supposed to use it. And using it for devotional purposes and for healing purposes lets me be a little bit braver with it, because I have my own personal stories as to why I don't usually share it. So yeah, a friend and student and colleague of mine sound engineered it for me. So it's really amazing. But the voice you hear in the background, that's me. So it was very big step to take to share that part, and I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. Yeah, Kiana, yeah, you want to hear me sing? Go listen to the meditation. It's in my, it's on my webpage. So let's see. So July, right now, we just tonight started the relationship upgrades course. This weekend we had the relationship manifestation workshop, which is a part of the course, or it was also standalone, and it was so good. Everything was so perfect. I was in Pasadena in this garden outside, and everything worked perfectly, which, is such a blessing, especially because Mercury retro was not over yet. So yeah. Oh, thanks, Lexi. And that was great. And I really can't wait to see what people manifest. Because when you do stuff with that kind of focus, something will come back. Either you'll get what you wanted, or something totally from left field will come in that'll be a divine timing issue. Or the reasons that you don't have that, either something you're learning, something you're working through, some kind of perspective that needs to shift, will be very obvious, all in 2 months, which is why we're getting back together in 2 months more. So let's see, that's July. August, I'm teaching the altar building course using principles of Vastu Shastra and some principles of Celtic magic. And registration is not up for that yet. There are going to be a couple different tiers. One of them will be that you just get the course and you can do it at your own pace. The other one is we'll do a voice check-in once a week, a personal voice check-in, like a voice memo that goes back and forth, which I really like those for people who don't necessarily want to go fully in, but who want a little bit of interaction. And the top tier is people who want full interaction, and we'll have a live meeting every week for 4 weeks. It's a 4-week course. And what I've discovered about using Vastu Shastra, which is the technique that Feng Shui was born from, so Vastu Shastra is like the mama daddy of Feng Shui, is that it just works. It just works. It's creating a microcosm. It's firing it a certain way. There are a bunch of different techniques you could use, and this is one of them. But it's definitely a great place to start if you want to altar build. And something else I really love about it is it doesn't have to be an obvious altar. So far as you have everything representing the elements and a couple other things, according to Vastu Shastra, it can be just a shelf or a table that's set up a certain kind of way. It doesn't have to be obvious, because I know that for a lot of people, their families or other people that they know or live with are not necessarily that supportive of spiritual journeys because of the big fear of spiritual journeys that has been embedded over the years. So anyways, okay, ask 14241, what part of the course are you most excited about? Okay, well, there are technically two, so I'll say for each. For the workshop series, I'm excited to see what people manifest, because I've never done it like this before. I've never done a manifestation workshop and then done a check-in. And I'm curious to see who does the work. You know, in any given, especially in online classes, there's a percentage of people who give a class and don't show up at all and never do it at all. And there are people who do it all the way. There are people who fall off. There are people who never get around to it. So I wonder how many people are going to show up on the next call and say, oh yeah, well, I didn't do it, and what their results are going to be like. But especially for the people who do actually do the work, I cannot wait to see what happens in their lives, like what actually happens in 3D, because this is inner work that makes outer work possible. Now, for the upgrades course, it's funny. I don't know if this has been true for you guys, but the elven realm, the elves have been super powerful in my life for the past few days. Coming in like 8 synchronicities within an hour from completely different places, that kind of thing. And I'm feeling the elven aspect of my soul getting really activated and kind of coming to the forefront right now, which I love. My elven self is one of my favorite selves. And both of the people taking the upgrades course, because there's 3 of us in there, which I kind of love. You know, I capped it at 5, and then at the last minute, a few people dropped out or dropped the ball and didn't end up getting registered in time. And so it's 2 students and me in there, and I love how deep we can go when it's only a couple people, because we can get like far in there and a lot more can come through. So I can't wait to see how their empowerment shows up, because both the students are these amazing people who have so much more inside. I think that as they work on healing their wounding and building their own internal structures more and more and more, the stuff they're going to offer the world and holding better boundaries, just from what I've already learned, the stuff that they're going to offer the world is going to be like, so I'm really excited to witness that and help steward it. Yeah. What else are you guys saying? Mark, you're talking about if you miss it, don't worry, back in 6,000 years. I don't know what you're saying. Hi, Spencer. Oh, hello, San Diego. I'm in LA, so. Okay, so so August I'm teaching the altar class. September, I'm going to do a cross-country trip. I think it's going to be the last one for a while. I haven't done one in a year. Last time I did it was last June. Oh, Jamie, found out I was a bricklayer was a game changer. Are you talking past lives? Let me know. I don't know what you're referring to. Whoops. Okay, low battery. Anyways, so I'm gonna go cross country first just to see it, because then I'm gonna plant down in LA for. I think I'm gonna commit to LA with traveling out from LA, but I'm gonna commit to LA for a year is what I'm thinking. So before I do that one last long road trip, and I'm gonna set up my car to be super comfy, and I'm gonna stop in the national parks and try to vlog a lot. And I'm still waiting for my next book idea to really land. I have ideas, but none of them are like the one yet. So maybe I'll get to work on that on a road as well. Spencer, how about a healing hands class? I think that workshop might be available on my website. I did one of those a couple years ago. DM me if you want it. All my 2-hour workshops are $111. So if you want to buy it, DM me. And I have it if it's not already on my website. S14241, so exciting. Thanks for sharing. Love this work you're doing, Charis. Thank you. I love it too. You know, it's stuff that people so often look over because the more subtle parts of life haven't gotten focused on historically, but that's also why so many people are walking out there with half their souls or even less, and why there's so much going on in the world on the shadow side, like, you know, just human trafficking and stuff, you know, no big deal. I don't know if you guys have seen that. Or what's coming up lately is all these men, mostly, that you think are great because they make good art, and then you find out that they're predators. And it's such a bummer, but I'm not really surprised, for various reasons, and more and more and more coming out. And I'm just sitting there watching, like, so after all this burns away, I really, really look forward to seeing masculine energy rise in the public eye that does have integrity. Because I know there are men out there with integrity. I know there are men out there with true integrity doing amazing things. And I can also say that I was thinking about this morning, because you guys know I was on my little rant yesterday about it. I was thinking about it today, and I was like, wait a minute. I've been teaching spiritual classes online for 10 years. I've been in the spiritual realm for 17 years. And I've been really present in the spiritual community since about 2011. So that's 10. This is the 10th year of that. Sorry, I thought I was going to sneeze. Guess I'm not. And I was like, wait a minute. Can I think of any men who are reasonably well known, right? So this is not people like practicing on their own. This is people who are teachers and guides and YouTubers and creators and whatever, people who are like in the public eye, or who have shows or products, or, you know, people who are out there that I personally know or am in circles of, or, you know about their lives because I know them and I've observed them, or I know their partners and stuff. Can I think of any men in the spiritual realm who are reasonably well known, who don't at the very least really undervalue energy vampire women and use women like toys? And the best I could think of was one or two who used to, until they got with their current partners. So I did think of one or two who like don't do it now, but if you were to rewind a year or two ago, they totally, I mean, gnarly stuff that you wouldn't know. And the fascinating thing is how many people then come forward when somebody like breaks the seal, that everyone's like, yeah, me, that happened to me. And me as a woman who takes no crap, being around these people over the years, and I'm just like watching, and I'm like, you know, this is what people look up to because they don't know any better, because you don't talk about it. And the women who are abused, whether that be covert abuse or overt abuse, whether it be mind fucking them or like actually fucking them, and using them, you know, spiritual leaders who seem to be great on the surface, write beautiful poetry, take beautiful pictures, but then are having all these like sketchy energy secret affairs with people, and taking their energy, you know, and having it be dramatic. Or I knew of a spiritual teacher who would kind of court women to come, especially young, naive women who were freshly on the spiritual path, to come and sleep with him. And he didn't use protection. And this is getting a little, but he, for instance, wouldn't reciprocate sexual acts with people that he was dating or casually dating because he called himself a germaphobe. So he's essentially telling women that they were germy, although he was going around not wearing protection, that kind of thing. You know, and it's common, you guys. And so when I think about it, I'm like, the current world as it is does not give respect and recognition to people with integrity, especially men. And that's why I know that they exist, but I couldn't think of one. I couldn't think of one. I could think of some that I don't personally know, but I'm like, well, he seems to maybe have integrity, but I don't know because I don't know about his personal life. But I've lived in Sedona, I've lived in LA, I've been in and out of the spiritual communities, I've dated some of these people, I've also been friends with a lot of them, and I couldn't think of fucking one who isn't a vampire on women. And and a user of women. And so, you know, I invite you to allow yourself to think about the people who you've seen me with over the years, who I've collaborated with, worked with. When I find that out, I stop working with people. So that's why you'll see me maybe co-creating with someone or something and then they never come up again. Yeah, it's because I have a zero bullshit tolerance with that kind of thing. And it's really nice too, being kind of your own brand and not needing to be backed up by a corporation or anything, because that's where a lot of this stuff happens and then people feel entrapped. But I'm not, I will just leave. So let's see what you guys are saying here. Let's see. I'm trying to scroll up to see where you guys are. Okay, it takes so much courage. I'm amazed. Ah, yes, past life, I believe. Jamie. Okay, I guess you're talking about the bricklaying. I come from stonemasons and brick masons, and when I get bricks in my hand, it just feels right. And that's why I can't wait to start building. I am still on the hunt for land. Some of y'all out there have mentioned to me, yeah, I guess you're not doing that anymore. Oh, no, I definitely still am. Y'all don't even know what's going on behind the scenes with the ups and downs of this process. But it's definitely going to happen, and I really look forward to actually physically building structures, which I have not yet done start to finish, all on my own. Okay, S14241. Yes, what is with the artist guys? Same in my experience. I think it's just the masculine energy on this planet right now where it currently sits with its unhealed wounding, and then it's kind of lost soul pieces and it tries to just steal them from people to get it back. You know, like one or two guys who are friends of mine, and I just point blank tell them, you know, you talk about women like they're candy. And if I were a woman looking for a partner, I wouldn't want to be with you because of the way you use women. So if I were looking at someone and heard him talk about women like that, it would be a no. Just so you know, because it's unconscious. They don't mean to do it. They're unconscious. And it's got to be fixed. Tula, what are your thoughts on Nako and accusations against him? That was tragic. That's what I was talking about yesterday. Because I really like his music, but whenever I've been to his concerts, it was a really like warrior, angsty, aggressive kind of vibe, which benefit of the doubt, and you know, amazing lyrics, great music. I was like, well, who knows, maybe he's in a rough spot, whatever. And then all this stuff comes forward about how he basically just violated a bunch of young women. It's rock star stuff. And I will actually say, and this is just my opinion, but a lot of what I read also could have been explained if he was on a drug, which is not an excuse, but it does make it make more sense. Back to the unconsciousness thing. Like, you know, one of the main things that I read was this girl who, she said that he was like hugging her for a really long time and kind of like grazing the sides of her breast when she did not invite that kind of thing. And I'm like, that kind of sounds like someone on ecstasy or on MDMA. And y'all know I'm a burner. One of the most amazing nights of my life where I got healing info that I still use to this day was the first time I ever tried MDMA. So I believe that there's a time and place for all this stuff. But that does not mean that you should be filling up these freaking underage people. And also, since I mentioned that publicly, all these women are sending me DMs saying, yeah, he had a long-term relationship with a best friend of mine and he was really bad and toxic, or yeah, I met him once and he seemed really toxic, or, you know, and it's disappointing because now I can't. I went onto my little playlist today and I just deleted him off. I was on my run this morning and every time his song would come up, I would skip to the next one, and I'm bummed because I like the music, but now it's tainted because I'm like, you can't talk about being a certain way and then in your personal life throw all that in the can and expect to not get caught in this digital age. So fuck anyone who's doing that, and we are not going to stand for it, because we have to clear the space so the guys with the integrity can come through. Because what I think is the way that the fame monster works is that there probably are people with integrity which can't get through to the public eye because they're not selling out in the ways that fame needs people to sell out. That's an opinion. All this stuff is opinions. So y'all can agree or not agree. It's just how I feel. And, you know, I'm always on the hunt for divine masculine energy to appreciate. I think there's a baby in my doorway. Oh, sounds like she's going away. So I love divine masculine energy. I love the way that men have this steadiness about them. I love how they support each other. I love that brotherhood vibe. I love how they support women. I love how when men are spiritual, the way that they pray, as long as it's an empowered prayer. I don't believe in worship, so when they're like whatever it is, prostrating themselves to God, I don't like, it's a turn off. But when they pray from empowered places, when men do magic, oh, it's so gorgeous. And just the way that they're so amazing and steady, the divine masculine energy and its brightness is beautiful and delicious. I would love to see more of it. I would love to see more of it that's healthy. I would love to see more of it that has integrity and that is steady and that's not so airy-fairy that you can't depend on it. And that's for women too. If you all know me, you know that this is not stuff that I've just started saying. I've been talking about this for a while. Being able to be spiritual and open and connected and also grounded and dependable and steady. As I've become more and more of a woman, as I've grown up, I have found the real joy in being able to say, I got you. I got you. You can depend on me. I'm here for you. I can do this for you. And being steady, which came out of the growing up from not being able to be steady of, well, I don't know, I can't make a plan because I'm overwhelmed by everything, which it comes back to the inner work. And for me, it also depends on where I put people in my life. Like if I know someone can't show up, then I'm not going to put them in the same slots as someone who can show up, especially because we're trying to build a world here. We have to have people we can depend on to hold it down, because we're all human and we all have times that we need support too. So, yeah. Okay, Patricia. I cannot wait for the masculine man, not the bully or predator. I agree 100%. And then there's the other side, ones that are like, their inner children are so wounded that they can't do anything. That then all they ever do I find frustrating as well. I just started reading a book called The Way Home by Sandra Ingerman, who writes spiritual bypassing, and it's all about where do you go after you heal. Like once you don't have to talk about your traumas all the time anymore, how do you define yourself, that kind of thing. Okay. S14241, I'm really struggling with my judgment towards men lately. Have been staying single for years. Yeah, just like someone can't say women are all the same, men aren't all the same. You have to go with what you're actually seeing and experiencing in your life. And if you're wanting something that you don't see, call it in. Like I do know men with integrity. I just don't know any spiritual leaders in the public eye who are men with integrity. Like I said, I can't think of one who doesn't use and vampire women. Dang, that baby's really freaking out. She's having a rough time. She's teething. All right, I think I gotta go deal with this baby. Sam Fern, you saw visions of the divine masculine being healed. Boys are indoctrinated into toxicity so young. Absolutely. And this is all part of the healing. You can see it in the eyes, and what you see in the eyes is either consciousness, lucidity, and presence, or it's not evil. It's not evil that you see in the eyes. It's blankness. It's fucking blankness. So you can see it. Look for yourself. Allow yourself to really see. And also the energy of worship, like that energy of like fan worship. First off, I will say it doesn't feel good to come in if you're fed by source. You're like, I don't want your energy. I'm not here to save you. Don't give your energy to me. Keep it. Use it. I'm here to be a guiding light so you can walk the path, not so you can just climb on my back and expect me to walk it for you. And anyone who does accept that, who's like, oh yeah, worship me, thanks. Red flag. You can still do amazing work and get recognition with it without that. And so I feel like as part of healing the masculine, the toxic masculine, is taking no more of their shit. You can't heal it if you're like, oh, well, I won't hold you accountable because I know you're wounded. We're all wounded, and we're all adults, and we've all had time to deal with it. And we get to deal with it right now because it's all coming out. You can't hide. If you've done shit, it's likely that it's gonna come out. So get ready, because I know that for me, especially that just set me off. The thing about Nako, I was like, damn it, why? There's so many people who love you. Why do you got to be so crazy? Why do you got to go do this stuff? You don't have to, you know? And I think that part of the healing is saying no more, no more, no more, and creating a safe, sacred space so that the ones with integrity can bloom up. Because I think that right now they're just held down because they can't get through the film of bullshit integrity where they all kind of protect each other and don't let the real ones in. And also, we got to look at ourselves, you know? One person was like, well, you know, I just feel sorry for him. And I'm like, I don't feel sorry for him. Like I said, we're all adults. He's had access to heal. It's one thing to be healing from something. It's another thing to be a perpetuator of abuse and an active part of the cycle. And I don't feel sorry for him. I've never met him. I've been around him. We've been in the same spaces. But I've never spoken directly to him. And so I don't know this person. This is all just what's been coming out in the media. And I did look for a statement of reply. First off, I couldn't find anything. And then I did find something, and it was just super spiritual bypassy, not actually taking about accountability for anything and just using a lot of, like, you know, code words to try to, I don't know, avoid the point. That's something else that sometimes frustrates me in the spiritual world about how hard it is to just talk brass tacks sometimes. It's like, well, no, tell me what you actually mean. Oh, well, I'm just feeling like this. And they go super up into the higher dimensions. I'm like, no, tell me what actually happened in 3D, because that's where we are right now. So, yeah, y'all know. Y'all got fiery Charis tonight. Okay, just scrolling. John Wineland. I don't know that person, Patricia. I don't know who John Wineland is, so I can't comment. Miss Brittany B, it's men in general. Oh, I know. It's in all the different things. And, you know, we're dealing with some huge healing. This is the same wound as the racism wound. It's the same wound as the sexism wound. It's the same wound as the bullshit in churches wound. It's all the same thing. I just had a friend get in contact with me today and tell me that in the church community, which I haven't been in a long time because I'm so off on the side there over with the witchy stuff, but in the church community, apparently she was telling me that women are really devalued there too, that they're just kind of interchangeable and their lives are not valued. And I'm like, what is wrong with people? And here in the activism community, you have people who are like, yes, treat people equal. And then they're going and treating women terribly, lying to them, cheating on them, abusing them, using them. No more. And that's the thing that I'm coming around to, because I'm like, we building these eco villages, gonna be full of women, gonna Amazon this shit up until men show up that deserve to be there. Period. I know they're there. I think they're just are either minding their own business and not interested in being part of the public conversation, or they haven't gotten the call yet to be part of the public conversation. So here's a call out to all of you men with integrity. We don't know what you look like. Show yourselves, because all we're seeing is stuff that is not integrous. So please do. Okay. Spencer, are you clairvoyant? Yeah. Thanks, Codependent Millennial. Love you too. Thanks, Jai. Okay, Brittany, how do you think we will come out of this pandemic? Better than we went in? More aware of our inner health and of our mental health, I think. Guys in the spiritual community seem to be split between hermits and energy vampires. That's cool. I wouldn't mind a hermit. I'm quite a hermit myself. I like hermits, but the energy vampire thing, nah, fuck that. I like actual vampires. I like ascended vampires who get their source from within. I think the vampire archetype is really beautiful, but the act of taking energy from someone else, no, 0%. I have no time for it. Okay. All right. Thanks, Daredevil. Okay. Let's see. I gotta go, you guys. I'm reading all your comments. They're really great. Okay, Chelsea, I'm so glad. Here's someone singing praise of a good man. Yes, Chelsea, my partner is very healthy, divine masculine, although not a part of the spiritual community, at least not yet. His awakening might come in this life, but he is so delicious in the meantime. Yes, enjoy him. Please help him stand up strong and guide the way for others. It's not necessary that everybody be into the spiritual woo, but if you've got someone with integrity, yes, 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 cherish him. Tell him how important he is. Tell him how rare he is and how we need people like him. Spiritual Bypass, yeah, Daredevil, go read that book. It's amazing. Okay. All right, guys, I want to go because I want to post this, and if I don't, my phone's going to go dead and I'm not going to get to post it. So I love you. Stay tuned for that altar building class. I'm going to put up the registration for it in the next few days, and if you want to reserve a spot, let me know because they're going to be limited. So I love you. Have a great day. Maybe I'll see you on my cross-country trip in September. We shall see. I'm going West Coast to East Coast to West Coast. Then I'm settling here for a year. So, oh, thank you, Spencer. Much love, you guys. Have a beautiful evening. Drink some water. Sing some songs, dance, create a little vortex. And yeah, I'll see you again very soon. Bye.